We are 1 week into the PBA Governors Cup and several names have made their opening statements to the league. Joining us tonight to give us his picks for the PBA's Team of the Week is 8-time PBA champ, the Jet, Jeffrey Carriazo. Coach, welcome back to the game. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me, Paolo. Thanks for having me.
No problem, Coach. Always a pleasure. And of course, I just want to emphasize that this is Coach Jeff's pick and not our pick, not an official PBA pick. Yeah, we don't want to get Coach Jeff into trouble or get ourselves into trouble. So let's start off here first with, I think, one of the most obvious picks, because we're picking from the locals here, Coach.
Right.
And Converge have been flying.
Right.
And you have to say, Maverick Ahanmisi is one of the guys that we got to talk about here today.
Right. Oh, most definitely. So my basis for the 5 is really how they performed last week. If you're a PBA fan, you loved PBA last week because every day there was a game.
Yep.
Right.
So you got to start with Converge and what they did last week, going 3-0. Big part of that, their best local scorer, Maverick Ahanmisi. So, you know, you can't deny the fact that he played well. He was consistent. You know, his numbers were like 31, and he had 16, and then 22 against Magnolia to end the week.
Yeah.
So that consistency is what is the level that I want him to be at almost every game.
And Coach, he's been very aggressive too the past couple of games. And you coached him. Have you seen this from him before when he was still playing?
I have.
Yeah.
So he's capable of it. And you know what I love about him and why the guys love him also, very unselfish. And when you're on the court, he plays hard and he gives their best and he plays both ends, right? How rare is that you have guys that play both ends? So I hope he keeps it up, and it's only going to be better for Converge if he does.
Yeah, and of course, he's also one of the better TikTok follows out there for the PBA players.
A lot of content.
A lot of content there.
All right, let's move on to the next player on your list, Coach. Kevin Alas, another guard from the NLEX Road Warriors. Always aggressive. I love his story, coming back from an injury, but still playing very well here for NLEX.
Yeah, Kevin Alas, his team went 2-0 last week.
Yeah.
Right. So again, that's our basis. So that means a lot to me. So him understanding that playing at that level that he did last week is where he needs to be.
Yeah.
So Kevin has to kind of walk like it, think like it, have that attitude that I'm one of the main guys and I'm going to carry that team. Naturally, he's a very humble guy, very cool guy. He gets along with everyone, so there's no issue there.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking about walking into the game and understanding that, Kev, you got to be the man every game. And that's my challenge to him.
You know, it really feels like he's really taking into Coach Frankie Lim's system. I mean, there was a period of adjustment, especially last conference. They had 3 head coaches at one point in the span of 2 weeks. So, again, happy to see Kevin doing well. The next guy you have here had a quiet game and a very loud game last week. Mikey Williams against Phoenix scored 9 points against Rain or Shine, hit 24, and they needed each and every one of those 24 points against Rain or Shine. What makes him special for you this week?
Well, you know, with Mikey, normally, I guess, just from my experience, I could be wrong, but it felt like he normally needs a few games to kind of get the engine going a little bit. He needed 1 game. He had a modest game with 9-10 points. In the game, but then he came out against Rain and just performed the usual Mikey Williams. So again, where we want him to get better, defend better. We want him to play both ends and be that elite guy. But is he already a superstar? Of course he is. You know, you're going to expect that from him. You're going to see that. You're going to see more of that from him.
Right.
And the fact that they also went 2-0 this week, you know, lots of credit goes to him.
And just very quickly, Coach, just a follow-up on Mikey. You've seen a lot of film of Mikey Williams back when you were still coaching against him. What makes him special? What makes him hard to guard as a scoring guard in the PBA?
You can't guard him. So that's pretty much it. So one-on-one, he's probably one of the guys that's hardest to defend. You know, because he can get to the basket. He's got the in-between game, and he's got the step-back 3. So, you know, what else can I say?
Absolutely. Next up, it's this guy's teammate. From the Morocco Bulls, Cliff Hodge.
Huge respect for this guy.
Cliff Hodge is one of the guys that you probably would always hate to play against because he is everywhere on the floor. Every inch of the basketball court has felt Chris Hodge's jersey. So what made him special last time around?
Well, again, why I put Cliff, and he's the only big guy I have on the list, if you notice. Morocco also played 3 games last week, and you know, I know you guys felt the last game, but again, what made you consistent in the game to win 2 games last week was Cliff, I think. You know, he was everything to you guys intangibles. He's hustle guy, energy guy. And the biggest positive I get from him, and this has been him his whole career, he defends the import.
Yeah.
Right? So if you got a guy that you can rely on to defend the import of the other team, close to 40 minutes, or, do his best and not really stop him. But then you let KJ go to work, Maliksi go to work, Quinto, Newsom.
He'll do the dirty things. Absolutely. And of course, I'd let Diego comment, but then at the moment, we're running out of time.
I just want to say one quick thing for Cliff. What he does in the games, he does it in practice.
I know. So I'm guessing he's bruised because of Cliff, actually. Okay.
You don't want to fight over screens when it's Cliff. All right.
I agree with that.
Let's move on to the next player, Coach. Your last one on the list.
My favorite nickname.
Wami Tiongson.
Magic Tiongson.
Right. So, Morocco's loss was because of this guy. And, Terra Firma won. Yeah, sorry about that, Jacob. Terra went 1-1 last week. Okay. First game, close game versus Converge, but again, they pulled off a win against you guys. Big game, big fish in my eyes. You cannot deny the 30 points that he scored. He went 6 for 9 from the 3. Just your typical, Wami, unstoppable. And what I love about this kid, he's calm. He's
super
relaxed.
Calm. You can't pressure him.
Always in control, So, again, his next level, be more consistent.
Yeah.
And then you will reach that next level.
He has range for days. He keeps on shooting, and all the best to Wami for the rest of the conference. Well, the other guys you mentioned here, Coach. Really appreciate your takes and your candor, and hopefully we can have you again soon.
Sure, no problem.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.